through that business. I'm very excited to share that our annual report is now available online. We'll put the link in the chat for you. Printed copies will be made available shortly, featuring a new design, stories, outcomes, and more. I encourage each of you to read to see the impact you made possible. Once again, we have to give all the kudos and thank yous to Works, who did a beautiful job with the design. Before I turn the programming over to United Way Finance Committee member Jane Kelly of Ion Bank to present the finance report, I want to thank our Vice President of Finance and Administration, Susan Fournier, Finance Chair Dave Petiti, and everyone on the Finance Committee. You are the reason we can track every dollar, every impact investment, and deliver on the transparency we owe every United Way donor. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Jane.
Thank you, Adrienne. I would also like to thank Dave Petiti, Treasurer and Chair of the Finance Committee, along with the committee members and United Way Vice President of Finance and Administration, Susan Fournier. The collective efforts of your United Way generated total revenues in excess of $5.3 million. The 2025 breakdown is as follows. $3,520,000 was generated directly from campaign, representing 66% of total revenues. We received over $856,000 in bequests. Due to the generosity of Harold Baker and John Lever, we continue to build our endowments. Rounding out the total are sponsorships from our community partners, grants, special event revenue, and administrative fees. 2025 also saw United Way enjoying positive returns on investments once more. It pays to stay the course when you have sound policy and great oversight. There are trends in philanthropy to note as well. As nonprofits throughout the state continue to face the challenge of fewer legacy donors, the need to attract new patrons gains importance while underscoring the need to build diversity into our revenue stream. One example of this diversification is the recent success in our planned giving initiative. We are aware of the changing landscape and we are adapting. Allocations and designations are as follows. Over $3.52 million was raised and invested in health and human services to aid individuals and families. Of that amount, over $2.8 million, or 80%, was allocated to support United Way of Greater Waterbury's partner agencies and community initiatives, or other United Ways. We will continue to meet local agency funding needs by keeping our United Way financially strong and executing on our strategies. Collection rates have continued to improve to 96% of total campaign and are trending ahead of the United Way worldwide national average of 93%. 84% of every dollar raised is invested in programs and services that are helping people in need, which leaves 16% of contributions to support our fundraising, management, and general expenses. The Better Business Bureau recommends no more than 35% of total fundraising dollars be committed to overhead costs. Your United Way continually performs in the top quartile of all United Ways in the worldwide network, handily exceeding expectations. And other things to note, the United Way of Greater Waterbury's Finance Committee and Board of Directors review and approve all financial statements monthly. As in the past, our audited financials and the IRS Form 990 will be available for public access shortly on our website. We are proud to continue to perform at the top of United Way Worldwide's expectations and standards. Finally, on behalf of our entire Finance Committee, we'd like to assure you that we are closely analyzing and reviewing the United Way of Greater Waterbury's monthly financial statements and continue to work with our board of directors in taking steps needed to provide support to our community now and in the future. And now I'll hand the program back to Adrian.
Thank you again to our Finance Committee. Thank you, Jane, for that wonderful report and all of the financial stewardship that they exercise on a feels like a daily basis, right? But look at the great outcomes we have. So thank you. On behalf of the United Way, I'd like to recognize our retiring board members. First, I'd like to recognize Dr. Lisa Dresner, who served as a board member since 2017, formerly serving as our campaign leadership on our campaign leadership task force, our COVID response fund, our equity advisory council, and our hackathon committee. Thank you, Lisa, for all of your contributions. Chris Fasano has served on the board since 2022, formerly serving on our campaign leadership task force and our governance committee. Thank you for bringing your expertise to all of these roles. Caitlin Gray has served on the board since 2023 and is a founding member of Women's United. We want to thank Caitlin for all that she has done and for her passion and continued commitment to our community. Kimberly Kalajinian has served on our board since 2020 and is also a founding member of Women United. The past 5 years has seen us pivot to deliver services during COVID, respond to emerging needs and new strategies and around a new strategic plan. We cannot have had the impact we do without the commitment of board members like Kimberly. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank my predecessor, Mr. Mark Casey, who handed me the reins as board chair not that long ago. He is still a wonderful presence, and we would love to have him around for the last year. So we know that Mark has done so much, including leading us through our 3-year strategic plan. And as we came to the end of the plan, we conducted a community needs assessment to ensure our next 3-year strategic plan continues to build on our success. Mark was instrumental in moving us to a new 3-year funding cycle, helping our funded partners plan more long-term. He also kept a steady hand throughout the relocation of the United Way office to downtown Waterbury, which, as we all know, was a massive undertaking. We thank you, Mark, but it's not goodbye, as I'm sure you'll remain involved with United Way, and we always know where to find you. So thank you, Mark, for all that you do.
Yes, never goodbye, right, Adrian? Never goodbye. I'm so appreciative of all of our board members. And Adrian, you leading our United Way in the last year. We've had so much go on and so excited now to tell everybody more about some of these incredible successes that we had this year. But once again, we can never do it without all of our leadership. So let's talk about some more really exciting work that we've been doing. Once again, Finance, Jane, Committee, Susan Fournier, thank you so much, because stakeholder confidence is critical to the work we do. Our nonprofit partners, thank you so much for always stepping up and being part of our world and making this community a better place. It's your leadership, it's your deep commitment to this community, your compassion that you show every day, both to the people in our community, to your own teams, and to making this a better place for us all to be every single day. You know, it's hard to think back about a year ago, over a year ago, when we were, getting ready to enter into a new fiscal year. And you mentioned a little bit about the 3-year funding cycle and our strategic planning and all that goes on to make sure, once again, that we're doing the work the best we possibly can. But what we needed to do before we entered into our new 3-year funding cycle was do that really deep needs assessment to really take a step back and evaluate where we stood, to understand what the current needs of our community were. We are coming out of COVID. So we wanted to ask some of those questions. What's changed? What has been amplified? What else do we need to know? Once again, to help the most people in our community. So that needs assessment, using data, was to guide our actions. Our community impact team, Jared, Kay, Renee, once again, stepped right on up to make all of this happen, to do and execute an in-depth needs assessment, to look at where we stand. This data from
Right.
this needs assessment complete validated much of our current work, right? We knew it confirmed that food and housing and financial security remain paramount. It reaffirmed that the importance of all the work we're doing in youth development. Once again, this critical work we're doing every single day. But in addition to that, the needs assessment, the data gave us new insights. It shedded light on a few emerging, really intensified areas of needs in our community. And when you learn that information, you need to respond. So let me go through some of the new programs and partners that we brought in. Hang Time, Choices program. This program brings in athletes who have made not so great decisions or choices. These athletes share their stories with students, turning these moments into learning opportunity. At Crosby High School, student athletes are engaging in real conversations about decision making, conflict resolution, and positive leadership. They are learning by rejecting gangs and violence or risky behaviors. They're not only protecting themselves, but they're role models for others. There's also wealth generation. Personal finances does matter program. We're supporting youth in making better financial decisions through their practical and empowering program. This program brings financial literacy education to over 180 students last year. They are learning about debt and credit and saving strategies and more. It's just not a theory. It's about real life skills aimed at breaking generational cycle of poverty and setting them on a path of financial stability. Now, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. We also have Afro Caribbean Cultural Center, the Q Summer Program. This vibrant summer program centers Black, Latinos, and Afro-Latino arts and culture. It's giving youth in Greater Waterbury the chance to celebrate their heritage, find their voice, and engage in issues that matter to them. It's about cultural pride, civic engagement, and creating a safe, joyful space where kids can be kids and stay off the streets. We also have Ability Without Boundaries. It's a shredding initiative. Yes, I said a shredding initiative. It's about focusing on removing employment barriers for individuals with disabilities. Our investment in Abilities Without Boundaries supports their shredding initiative by providing the equipment and safe space for clients to work and to ensure they are being paid a fair minimum wage and not piecemeal. This is about more than a job. It's about visibility. It is about dignity and inclusion for a population that often goes unseen. We also partnered with Brian Gibbons Homeless Outreach. Homelessness remains a critical issue in our community. I think we all know that, but we are proud to support Brian Gibbons Homeless Outreach. Our funding provides compassionate case management, access to critical service, essential supplies, and most importantly, hope. Supporting individuals, it's so important, supporting people on the journey from homelessness into stable housing. And of course, our partnership with St. Vincent de Paul Mission Shelter. What an important organization. Lastly, we continue to support their vital work. They are the largest shelter in the state, right here in Waterbury. They are a consistent, they're a reliable partner, and we are facing housing crisis head on, helping us deliver both the emergency and long-term solution to those in need. Honestly, these are just a few of the examples of how we're responding to our community's evolving needs with thoughtfulness, data-driven decisions, and a commitment to equity and impact. Once again, to all our nonprofit partners, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your leadership, your partnership, and your unwavering belief in what we can achieve together.
Well, that's just absolutely amazing, all the work that's being done. And please put your comments in the chat box. You can see some of the comments that we've already seen around the impact that these programs are having on our community. Through our Community Needs Fund, we took several actions. Last November, we supported the Connecticut Mission of Mercy Free Dental Clinic, a 2-day clinic at Wilby High School in Waterbury. An amazing event where the support of 841 dedicated medical, dental, and community volunteers provided over $1 million in free oral health care to 1,085 patients. With the passage of Public Act 23-208, it raised the age of when kids can enter school. So we helped Waterbury's Easter Seals early childhood program increase the age of the children they serve up to 5.9 years old. I didn't know there was a 5.9 years old. I want to be 5.9 years old. I'm going to say that I'm 21.9 now, always. I love that. And what this did was expanded opportunities for enriched early learning experiences. This is an investment in children from Alice households to ensure a successful transition into kindergarten. And we know those are the vital years, those are the important years. And so anything that we can do to help kids be ready is vital to their success.
Wow. I mean, dental clinic, over 1,000 people. I think that's pretty incredible. And I think it's another powerful reminder that basic needs extend beyond food and shelter. What an incredible opportunity to help people. So, so much that while we're focused on long-term impact, we also show up when the crisis hits. And, doesn't seem like it was that long ago, right? That we had two very unexpected crises in our community where we really truly needed to just, we required swift, coordinated action. And what the two really crisis and emergency situations we had were, one, the flood, but then also, a really, really cold winter. So if you remember back with the flood, barely 2 months into our fiscal year, our region was hit with a devastating flood. Nearly 16 inches of rain fell in just 6 hours. It caused severe damage to homes and businesses throughout our community. And what I love about our board of directors, our United Way team, we didn't wait. We acted immediately. Our team provided one-to-one support in delivering financial assistance to individuals and families. We helped meet urgent basic needs, food, clothing, recovery supplies, and more. When people needed us most, we showed up. I want to thank the other partners that were in that journey with us, the Red Cross, the local municipalities, United Way of Naugatuck Beacon Falls team, and of course, Connecticut Community Foundation. In addition, last year, we saw a devastating cold winter. So we needed to move into action with an emergency winter warming center at CHC Hospitality Center. Once again, with a really cold winter, it threatened the lives of those experiencing homelessness. There was no place to go. So recognizing the urgent need for 24/7 winter sheltered, and thank you to Jared for his leadership in this, we stepped up, bringing together the city of Waterbury and the Housing Collective, each who matched our $20,000 investment. Our board stepped right up. We put in 20,000 and we had people come right with us to make sure that the money was there to help people. So thank you so much. And thank you to Mayor Pernuski for his leadership through all of this. Really with the warming center, we were able to come together and keep this hospitality center open. It was around the clock, and it was once again those harshest winter months. And quite literally, I can say this: we saved lives. That's what I love about what I do, and love being at United Way. This is what we do, and this is what it looks like to be a responsive, trusted community partner, whether it is through that long-term investments or immediate crisis response. Once again, it's your support that helps us do what we do and make sure that we continue moving forward and helping people.
Thank you, Kristen. And we absolutely love, love, love your passion and the team's passion, your staff's passion. That's what makes all this work. And we could not deliver results without our impact partners, many who are also logged in with us this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us create much of the impact we have been discussing today, because that's what it's all about. It's not about an activity, it's about impact. And a special thank you to the volunteers of the Community Impact Cabinet and councils. The countless hours you put in to vet our investments and programs ensures that every dollar invested delivers more than a dollar in impact. And on behalf of the board and the community, thank you, Kristen. Thank you to the staff of the United Way. Once again, the work that you do behind the scenes many people never get to see it. They don't understand and get to feel like we do all the work that goes into making sure that everything runs smoothly and those dollars get out there to make sure that people are receiving the services they need. The United Way staff is online with us this morning, and they are in the chat as well. So thank you for your passion and commitment. We could not do this without you.
Thank you, Adrian. I also have to lift our team. We have an incredible group of people that come to work every day with caring and compassionate, but for everything, for the people in our community, everything we do. So there's other big news I think we should share too. I mean, once again, about our community investments and the work we're doing, but I think it's important to know about our hot off the presses, United Way Worldwide refresh global brand. And, thank you to Glenn and Linda for working so hard on this, but you can see this in all our materials right there on the screen. Our United Way again led that worldwide launched this refreshed global brand, and we're not only excited to show it to you, but to let you know that we were an early adopter in the brand training, that our team stepped up first to be here to help lead and make this all happen. And so we were the very first with the first global conversion. I think that's pretty darn exciting. It is the most significant brand refresh in decades, and it is a modern look. We just elevated the message, all of it. We just are absolutely loving it. And so you'll see it now. You'll see it for the years to come. And once again, Glenn and Linda, you led that charge, and I really appreciate all of stepping up and being a lead. I do think the refresh is bold as it's inspirational. And it's once again a way to show that our United Way system moves forward and that we are committed to mobilizing communities to once again to thrive together. Part of the global effort, once again, we are part of a larger network, though we are an independent 501c3, but we also were able to be part of a thriving United Way self-assessment. And we know in good governance that you need to be able to evaluate your board. You need to be able to do self-assessments on how the organization is happening. So of course we took like a really in-depth perspective, a way to dive in and make that happen. So our team, our entire staff and our board members jumped in together. We formed teams that dove into the 5 different operational areas. We decided to have a board retreat, report those the results back as to the board and then to worldwide. Once again, our results were well beyond most throughout the United Way system globally. That we surpassed the average of results, and then also we were held up to be one of the best practices nationally. So people can lean on us and come to us if they want to have advice or have any questions. So once again, just really exciting, just another way to see our United Way leading in all sorts of efforts.
Great, great job. And I love the refresh, love the colors. Kristen and I and everyone, we tried to match a little bit with the colors. So we are taking it very, very seriously. So looking back on the past year, I'm excited to share that when Campaign Chair Dave Ferraro asked you to find it in your heart, you responded. Together, you helped raise over $3.5 million. So that's an incredible amount, very exciting, but we will not sugarcoat it. It's a great, great amount, but it's been a very, very challenging year. Studies are showing that fewer people are actually giving, but the trends are also showing that those who are giving more. So we know that when people understand the impact they have, they're willing to do more. The campaign focused on increasing participation and encouraging those who had the means to definitely dig a little deeper and give a little more if they could. It's a message that we are carrying into the current campaign. I want to thank Joe Gugliotti, Grant Copeland, and their extraordinary team who developed the theme, Find It in Your Heart.
Yes, I need to also thank Works and all of you at Works. You always lend us your expertise, your time, and you are also personally committed to this community. And I'm truly grateful for all you do. And once again, helping us with our messaging and our themes, it makes every campaign that much more exciting. So talking about campaign, we know fundraising is getting more and more challenging, and it's our team and our volunteers that always continue to rise to the occasion, knowing that the money we raise is doing such important work in our community. I do want to do a shout out to our resource development team, Jen, Barbara, Logan, and Betty, for all you do every single day, keeping your eye on the prize of raising those important dollars. And I also want to thank Rebecca, All Things Data, for always supporting us and giving us the information we need. And once again, we can't do it without the entire team. But I do want to talk about our fundraising and once again, commitment to raising maximizing dollars. So some of the really exciting highlights is one of them is our new trike race, like a brand new massive event in our community. It was such a success. Thanks to the generous support of sponsorships and the incredible energy around this event. We raised over $80,000. Now, is that not outstanding? That's where all the applause should be coming through online. But really, seriously, it was not only very, very successful financially, but it was a lot of fun. Big thank you to Chris Rinaldi and Jake Albert. They led the charge, brand new, starting like out of the gate, brand new. And also, once again, Betty for the person on our team that also took the leadership role. It takes the whole team to make that happen. And I just so appreciate, the innovativeness, once again, to do something new and different. We also have a whole bunch of other fun volunteer-driven events that happen. It's through our residential campaigns. Once again, bringing thousands more into our mission. So here are some of the examples of the really fun things that we have done. A relaxing and energizing yoga night, thanks to Mary Chipolone. A beautiful wine dinner hosted by Frank and Michelle Montero. A fun and memorable boys' night out organized by John Zeno and George Capra. A warm and welcoming Cheshire Sunday supper hosted by Dave and Brenda Ferraro, and then also Doug and Megan Johnson. And then, of course, Holiday Sip and Shop that was made possible by Sandra Senich, Jackie Mulhall, and Shannon Cavallo. Once again, individuals stepping up, leading, and helping raising more funds for our community. But generosity didn't stop there. We also have really, really successful events through our Women United. We have a summer social and then Galentine's event. Those event co-chairs are Megan Anthony and Madison Hicks. Once again, they're raising specific dollars for women's health and wellness. Once again, people coming together do great things for our community. And that's what I love about these events. I really do. It's bringing people together in the spirit of our community and giving. These individuals I just met represent all of these, a snapshot of the so many of volunteers that step up to help raise money and drive our impact. It is true. Volunteerism is the heartbeat of our organization. It shapes our mission, fuels our fundraising, and drives impact at every level. But just think about it. Our board are volunteers. Community impact cabinet and councils are all volunteers. Our 99 voting members, our campaign leadership cabinet, all of the affinity groups, Women United, emerging leaders, and upstarters, all volunteers, people giving their time. Every volunteer hour that is committed by all of you, it just magnifies our impact in real and concrete ways. It is a deliberate and strategic approach to making our community the best it can be. So take a look at our annual report. In the back, you'll see lists and lists and lists of people, once again, giving us their time, their passion to help our community. And every single individual deserves a real heartfelt thank you. There's also other volunteers that are helping with these other types of events. Hundreds of volunteers who engage in year-round, whether it's day of caring, stock the pantry, volunteer income tax assistance. Once again, stepping up, once again, helping us keep our promise. I do believe, and Glenn says this also well, is volunteerism drives understanding. It's of who we are and what we do. And once again, it's not an afterthought, it's a strategy. And thank you, Ari, for your leadership. She leads this work. She's tracking number of volunteers, number of volunteer opportunities, the number of hours that are committed, you name it. Once again, we want to celebrate it, but just don't forget that there is like over $560,000 in time of value by volunteers that once again are driving impact in our community. Thank you so much. Once again, it makes a difference. Now I need to really talk about another wonderful volunteer who's with us in the studio. It is a key volunteer role. We knew Dave Ferraro served at last. What? Okay. Well, we know Dave Ferraro served in that capacity last year, but we're about to introduce our new campaign chair. Once again, it's not a figurehead position, but let's show a video. Hold on one second. So isn't that a wonderful video? Once again, that was under Dave Ferraro's leadership, a campaign chair. Find it in your heart. Once again, talking about that position, it's so not a figurehead position, but I think that video just gives us a wonderful visual of the hours and time that people put in. Once again, all dedicated to our community. So once again, thank you so much. So now I was mentioning we have this exciting person in the studio with us. Jason Gagnon, who is our campaign chair this year. He is very much understanding that this is not a figurehead position because of the countless hours that he's already been putting in. Very, once again, focused on raising these critical dollars to do the impact that we need to have in our community. Jason is a partner at Carmody, Torrance, Sadak, and Hennessy. It's very exciting to have them on board because it is their 125th year in business. It is their anniversary, and there's a major connection here at United Way because attorney Edward Carmody was literally one of our very first volunteers during when our United Way was founded back in 1942. So this is so perfect to have Jason leading this campaign at this specific time. I'm so happy to introduce Jason, and to send over the podium to you, Jason, to tell us more about this year's campaign. Once again, I know we're going to be showing a video on this year's campaign and to give a little bit more of a highlight and show you our theme. So let's go.
Look around our area. Thousands of people in their most difficult of moments, desperate to succeed or sustain or even survive. With you by my side, I'll be fine. But there you are, and this is the time to give and do something momentous that could quickly change the course of so many lives. You can make job training programs possible. You can make early childhood education happen. You can make dental care, behavioral health, housing, and food accessible. You can make someone's situation different, better, forever. Yeah, this is your time to make someone's moment.
So I know I've said this before, but there's nothing I can really say that can add to the fantastic work that Works does. But the lawyer in me really can't help myself. So I will begin with a thank you to Grant Copeland, Joe Gugliotti, and their team at Works for the campaign video you just watched, along with the creative, all of the creative around the Make Someone Moments theme. It is timely and timeless at the same time. And so I just thank them for making this their moment to step up once again. You heard so many great stories this morning about the impact that the work that the United Way does. And then the work that you do, that you enable the United Way to do. It's literally saving lives and shaping futures. But all that work we're talking about this morning takes dollars. A successful United Way depends on a successful campaign, which I'm well aware of. And while I'm pleased with the progress so far, we still have a long way to go, and time is of the essence. You need only look at the headlines coming out every day about how this year is different, about how this year's campaign is different. The latest one I saw is that if the government shutdown continues, 360,000 Connecticut residents who receive food stamps, who need those to make it through the day, make it through the week, those are going to disappear, and that's going to put more and more stress on an already strained food bank system. And who steps into those voids? It's the United Way. So this year is different. The need is greater, and our need for you to step up, for you to make this your moment, is all the more. The dollars we raise will help people address their immediate needs while also removing the obstacles holding people back from achieving their potential so that all can thrive. This year, I know we talked about it at the kickoff campaign, and Kristen likes to say it that, while the work we're doing is really serious, we do like to have some fun along the way. So I'd like to take this opportunity to shine a light on just a few initiatives that we're running alongside this year's campaign. First of all, as Kristen mentioned, Carmody is celebrating its 125th anniversary. That's one of the reasons we've stepped up to lead this campaign. And as part of that, we are offering an incentive to all lawyers, accountants, financial service professionals. It's a match. We're offering a match to donors at 125 and above who are either making a first time increased or returning from a lapsed donation to this year's campaign. So I know we don't like to admit it, but we all have lawyers and accountants and other professionals in our lives. I need each one of you to reach out to them, to let them know about the match program. I'm sure Glenn and Jen and company can get you that information and really impress upon them that, if they've been on the sidelines of this campaign or past campaigns, now is really the time. There will never be a time where their donation means more, makes more of a difference than this campaign right now. Second, and the one that I'm personally excited about, is the United Way has teamed up with Foch's Chocolates to launch the Golden Ticket Raffle fundraiser sponsored by the generosity of Ives Bank. Every raffle ticket is wrapped around a bar of Foch's chocolate and offers a 1 in 100 chance of winning up to a $500 gift card or chocolatier for a day experience at Foch's for the winner and a guest. So even if you don't win, you're not one of those lucky 1 in 100, you can console yourself with a bar of chocolate from Foch's. These make really great employee gifts, just thank you gifts, wonderful stocking stuffers with the holidays coming up. If you're hosting an event, they make great table, giveaways. So please, if you can, step up. This is a great way, especially if someone's not, committed to running a campaign in their workplace, or they're not committed to donating. It's a really easy entry point. So cases of 12 bars are available for $120. Orders of 20 cases or more come customized with your logo and a short message. These bars can be sold for $10 each, or again, gifted to employees, customers, friends, and families. I know Glenn's probably on it and has probably already put the order link in the chat. If you need more information, as with most things, contact Jen over at the United Way for more information. Really key, if you haven't scheduled your workplace campaign or major pledge yet, please do so soon. Time really is of the essence. We need you. That's as simple as it is. Your community needs you now more than ever. Now's the time for you to make this your moment to make someone else's moment. Thank you all for being here and for all you do for the United Way.
Thank you so much, Jason. And I think we all would love to be a chocolatier for a day. How many of us watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and always wanted to be one of those? So we look forward to that. And please make sure that you participate in your workplace or schedule your workplace campaigns and heed to Jason's call of action by supporting our annual campaign. Just know that the community is counting on all of us. In addition to needing your campaign support, I have an urgent call to action I'd like to share. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and our Food Resource Committee partners have already received notice that they will not be receiving the same volume of food from Connecticut Food Share as they did last year. Therefore, they are asking for our support sooner so they know what's available in terms of resources that will be available this year. Our Joy of Sharing donation page is now open. Every dollar counts. If you'd like to give a corporate gift, just contact United Way on how to make this happen. Please, please, please don't wait. If you'd like to support this effort, visit UWGW.org or text Joy of Sharing, one word, Joy of Sharing, to 41444. That's Joy of Sharing, one word. Text to 41444. We'll put this information in the chat as well. It's really an urgent situation. So as I said, please, please don't wait. And once again, we are partnering with the Salvation Army for their Adopt a Family program to provide new toys for children in need for the holidays. Sign-ups are open now. Last year, you helped fulfill over 300 wish lists, which met 100% of the families Salvation Army provided to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you for stepping up and helping 300 lists be fulfilled for children so that they have something during the holidays. Between Adopt a Family and all the other toy drives, the estimated number of children served last year was 750 children. That's 750 lives that would not have been touched and would not have had something to wake up to during the holidays if it weren't for you. So thank you for that. Please contact Ari at United Way to learn how you can get involved. We'll put her information in the chat, or just pick up the phone and call United Way. Someone is always there to answer your call. So, Kristen, I'd like to say thank you to you. Thank you to our power station team here. Yes, hands up. They always do a great job of making sure that everything is working and that all of us, we're real tech savvy too here, but, we try to make them look good. But they help us out with that. So we thank you. Glenn behind the scenes is on it always. He has headsets on, about to fly the plane here as well. So we love him. Thank you to, of course, Jason and Jane in the studio with me, and Kristen. Always a great job. We just really love your energy, what you bring, showing that the passion that you have for what you do, how you do it for your team and for the community, that shows up in where we are fiscally and shows up where we are as a convener in the community. So thank you for that.
Thank you all.
So everyone, I want to thank you as well. And we have one final motion that we have to make. Now we want to see if anyone's willing to make this motion. So I'm going to pause for a moment. We're going to put all your mics on live again for this final motion. Once again, when all the mics are on, we can hear you. So beware of any background noise. So are we ready? Okay, here we go. We are on live. So to end this meeting,